Hey guys, what's up? Another here back with another YouTube video. This is an explanation and tutorial on this new 4x4 door. That like a few months ago I haven't really been like too like insane with building my doors, but yeah, this is it. It works like this. So it does that. That's the closing. And then the opening is like that. I'm going to show you how to build it now, so yeah. So for the layout, you're going to just want your normal pistons on the bottom, 4 on the bottom, 2 side pistons on the bottom like that, and then your double extender like that. You want 2 more storage on the top, and then your 4 storage, on the top. Then you want 2 obsidian here and here. Oh yeah, also I forgot you need to storage your double extender on the other side. And that's the layout. So let's get into the how to make it. So I'm going to use red as the input circuit, just because I like to do it. So you want 1 down, just like that. Want it in a little pattern like that. 2 dust and repeater, and that will activate your side pistons. And now we're going to move on to the closing circuit. So we want a sticky piston underneath this piston block, and you want an observer facing up like that with a dust. Another block up, and now you want a regular piston here. That will be for later. And then you want an observer facing into that block. And I'll do it on this side too, because it's everything is symmetrical apart from the input. So yeah, you want your piston, your block, your observer, and your dust with your piston and the observer. And by the way, I will do the explanation after I've showed you how to build it, just like I did with this door over here. And also, if you want to know how to build this super small 3x3, then I'll put a card on the top right corner of the screen, probably about here. But yeah, so we're gonna next we're gonna get an output from this piston going into 2 observers facing up, block there, and then an observer facing down with dust there and a 4-tick repeater. It'll pulse a few times. We can just put that back. Now that'll give the double pulse at the end. And now we want to get, so I'll do this first. You want to get an output from this dust with a observer. You want another dust here with an observer detecting that going into that piston at the top. So that should be the closing done, hopefully. No, it isn't. Okay, oh yes, okay, so we'll build this side first, and then I just remembered what we need. So we'll get the output from the normal piston again, going up like that into observer with 4 ticks, and then another observer, dust, observer there again. So we want to do that, and now that should be working, but I'm not going to test it because of what happened to this side. So to get that first 1 tick, which is what we need, I'm going to use blue wool because it's part of the retraction. So we're going to get a regular piston, just like that. We'll do it on this one too. I'm going to get an observer to detect that, and then another observer with a block and a redstone dust. just like that. Actually, you want this block to be a target block. I forgot. Yeah, you want a target block here, just like that. And now it should be working. That's good. We also want, before we retract it, we want a block coming up here. And all we need left now is an extra pulse into here. And the way we do that is, so off this block, which gets powered from this piston, we're gonna get an observer with 4-tick repeater on it, which comes down into another observer there and another one there. And we need a note block on here. So we need a note block here, which I'll just place now. So that should be that side done. Now I'll do it on this side. So again, we want observer with 4 ticks, 2 more observers, and a note block. So that should be it. So we'll try it. So there's the closing. There's the opening, good. Now I can just fill in the door frame. Make sure not to put anything in these blocks, because these pistons won't be able to push up and it'll break. Yeah, so that should be it. And now I'm gonna go ahead and explain everything. So first, this will power this dust, which goes over and powers this piston, which this block will also power this one, powering this piston and that block. So that's basically the input where the pistons go up. And then this will go and activate this, pushing this piston up, activating the observer, going up, hitting the target block, and powering this, which gives that first 1 tick there. That first 1 tick. And then while that's happening, this will extend. This block will extend the piston, activating this observer, powering this dust, which will power this piston, which won't power if it's got a block in front of it because of this obsidian here, which blocks it. And then we want to get, then we're gonna then it will power this, powering this piston, which powers the observer. And I think it updates this basically. Yeah, I think it updates it because this doesn't get powered. Without this observer, this won't get powered in time and it won't put the block in. So I think this updates it, but it could just power it again, I'm not sure. Then this, at the same time, this block will power this repeater going through these observers, updating, you need the note block to update something. And then this blue will get powered, powering this piston, doing another 1 tick. That's for the final retraction. And then at the same time, this will go extend, powering this observer, powering this dust, and this 4 tick will give a double pulse to these pistons, like that, doing the final extension. That's useful for the extension, but it's also useful for the retraction because it's perfectly timed so that when these extend, this thing down here will give the pulse here, like that, which means that this here will extend. And I think it only works when it's being powered, but it'll power this block, extending these pistons, and then this will give the pulse, and then this will give another pulse here because it's a double pulse, doing the final retraction. So it's pretty complicated. Well, it's pretty complicated to explain, but yeah, that's it. And then this observer will detect the redstone going into this dust and this observer will detect that dust going into another observer and a block, which will basically just fire those two pistons like that. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, like and subscribe if you like piston doors like I do. Yeah, that should be it for this video. Bye guys.